Okay, so we've all played chess before, right? It's one of the funnest games ever made and also one of the oldest. And we've all also played Mario Kart as well. And if you haven't, you should. It's actually a really fun game. And I thought, why not combine both games to see the result? I know this project is a bit strange, but I have been putting a lot of time and effort into it, and I think I can make something really special here. So to explain this project the best I can, I'm going to be taking the setting of chess and then putting in the rules of Mario Kart to make a brand new game. So to basically make this work, I need to transform the board of chess into a racetrack. And then, when that's done, I need to establish brand new rules to make it a coherent game. But first, let's establish what rules are still the same. So there are three things. Firstly, pieces still need to retain their previous movement patterns, meaning that knights still need to move in an L shape. Secondly, black and white tiles still exist and need to be respected. And thirdly, you can still take out your opponent's pieces. Okay, now those are all the rules that still exist. Now, let's move on to the new rules. I think it's best to visualize what I mean when I say the board is now a racetrack, so I made an actual sketch to show you. Can you see this? It's kind of blurry, but... So I basically took a regular chessboard and took out the center, meaning that now you need to go around it. And the black line is the start and finish line. Okay, so here's where things get a bit complicated. Because unlike regular chess, you can't just have every piece in play. You can only have a certain amount of pieces. If you play chess, you know that some pieces are worth more than others, and they actually have a point system. And we're actually going to use this system to determine how many pieces can be at play at any point. So in your team, you can have any piece you want, but your total needs to add up to 10 points. And to show you how this works, queens are 9 points, rooks are 5 points, bishops and knights are 3 points, and pawns are 1 point. So if you wanted, you could have 10 pawns, or 1 pawn and 1 queen. So the players can choose any combination they want. So for example, you could make a team that's tailored towards finishing the race as quickly as possible, or making a team that's tailored towards beating your enemy as quickly as possible. Which leads me to my next point, how exactly do you win this race? Well, it's actually quite simple, just finish a lap. The first piece to finish a lap wins, or you could do several laps if you wanted to. And here lies the bigger issue. My first sketch just doesn't work that well, does it? All I did was take out the center to make it a racetrack, and that now makes it a really bad one, for several reasons. Firstly, it's way too narrow. Let's say that both opponents want to use 10 pawns. Well, it's way too small to hold 20 pawns at once. Secondly, some pieces have an unfair advantage. For example, rooks and queens can finish the track in under 5 moves. That is way too unfair. So those are the two main problems, and I think we could solve both of these issues by changing the board and the rules. If the board is way too narrow, then the solution is to make it bigger, while also changing the shape. In Mario Kart, the racetracks are never a straight line. They always have twists and turns, so maybe that could help as well. Something like this, where it's a lot more round and wide. This way, more pieces can fit. That still leaves the problem of the unfair advantage, and I thought the best way to solve it would be to actually change how you win the game. So I have two new possible win states. The first is the king needs to win. So you get any combo you want plus a king, and that king needs to make it to the end for you to win. This could still lead to some issues because a king is very slow, so a match could take a very long time to finish. So maybe my second solution is the best. So in Mario Kart, you can play in teams, and the winning team is determined by who has more points in the end, and points are given based on your position. So why not use that? The way to win is to have all your pieces cross the finish line, and if both players do so, the winner is chosen by who has more points, and points are determined by your pieces. If black is able to cross the line with 1 pawn, that's a point. If it's a queen, that's 9 points. And if it's a king, that's 10 points. Of course, points won't matter if you're able to eliminate all your opponent's pieces. At that point, you just win. And yeah, that's my idea for a chess race. It is for now just a concept. If you have your own ideas, let me know in the comments. And if you want, you could check out my other videos. But for now, that's it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Peace.